Welcome to Qvinci for Accountants. Today we're going to explore the account setup process for Qvinci for Accountants. Qvinci for Accountants is the same robust reporting and consolidation tool that you've used in the past, but now with a collaboration type effort, as well as report automation and a templating, publishing, and packaging feature as well. So today we're going to explore the account setup process and what that looks like. What is Qvinci for Accountants? So another level built onto the same Qvinci reporting system still offers a sync solution with reporting and dynamic mapping to a standard chart of accounts for your multi-entity clients. But now it allows you to have a collaboration type effort or level inside Qvinci for accounting firms to more effectively manage their clients regardless of accounting file type. So it connects with QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, Xero, Excel, by class or by location. It allows for reports to be placed into templates for packaging and publishing and authoring to your users. Collaboration for multiple firm-level employees to manage a client and the reports that a client should see. The setup process entails adding staff to your account to help manage your clients, adding your clients to the account so that their information can be synced to their entities, creating report templates, styling those said templates or reports, and publishing them to your users. So at a high level, creating standard packages that you might send out to your clients once a month, once a quarter, once a year, building that entire compilation once and deploying across many users. Let's look at the two different SKUs that are found inside Qvinci for Accountants. Qvinci Advisor is designed for the single entity client in mind. My clients who do not need consolidation. They have one file or one reporting entity. Qvinci Advisor is the SKU that I'd like to select for those individuals. Qvinci Enterprise does allow for consolidation. It allows for some additional portal features, additional workflows, additional statuses and note fields as well. It allows for the consolidation, and it allows for unlimited client files. Let's explore actually setting up a Qvinci for Accountants account. Migrate to accountants.qvinci.com and click the free trial button. We're going to take a couple of data points from you in order to set up your 14-day free trial. So I'm going to go ahead and populate my information in these fields. And we're going to collect a phone number as well, and your accounting firm name, and the number of accountants that you have in your firm. Just me today. Let's get started. We're going to take it through a verification process, and at the end, you'll be able to actually register for your Qvinci account. Setting up a Qvinci account is a very easy process, as you're about to see. We're going to take you through setting up an account for an advisor client, a single entity client, and then also bringing in an enterprise level client, one that might need consolidation because of multiple entities. So I'm going to create my actual Qvinci account at this time. Qvinci accounting firm, that's me, and my phone number again, my email, and a password. You'll notice that the subscription terms are at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead and scroll that bar all the way down. These terms can also be found from the web page, and you'll accept the terms and create your Qvinci account. Now that my account is created, I have the ability to bring in my first client. So I met with this opportunity here. Am I bringing in a single entity client, aka an advisor level client, or an enterprise level client who needs consolidation? Let's start with advisor because this is a single entity client. Upgrades are available, and you can certainly toggle a client at any time over to the enterprise SKU should they add an additional reporting entity in the future. So my client, Michelle, owns a floral shop. I'm going to set her up right now. The industry that she falls within, she's a retail type client. And I'm just going to type in retail as a text code associated with her NAICS number. Go ahead and always enter a text code in this box, and it'll allow you to pull the corresponding number. How does this client want to operate? In accrual or cash basis inside Qvinci? She operates in cash mode, so I'm going to go ahead and select that option. And she would like to see balance sheet reports, or I would like to see balance sheet reports for this client. And because she's a retail client, she operates off of a weekly sales cycle. I'm going to enable the profit and loss weekly delineated report for her account. And I happen to be the user who is syncing the file for her. So I'm going to leave my information pre-filled in right here. If Michelle actually needed to sync her file herself, I would just simply untoggle this and insert Michelle's first and last name and her email into this field. Let's click Next. Now I have the ability to choose from a monthly or an annual billing model. Do I want to pay once a year for this client, or do I want to pay once a month? I do get a discount if I choose the annual option. We're going to go with monthly for this potential client since I'm trying it out. And now I just simply need to insert my credit card information. I do receive a 14-day free trial, and I will not be billed until that date arrives, but I do have to put a credit card on file to get through the trial phase. After inserting my credit card information, I am dropped inside of the new account and the new client that I just created for my firm. What you'll notice is I am dropped on the screen that allows me to sync the accounting file for Michelle's Flowers. What I might want to do is set up Michelle to have access to her location inside Qvinci as well. So I'm going to migrate. I'm already on the Manage an Entity tab. I need to add Michelle as a user to her entity. So from Manage an Entities, I'm going to click the Permissions tab. I would like to start adding a user. And I need to add a new user who doesn't exist inside my account yet. I'm going to invite a new one, Michelle. Perfect. The moment I click Invite, she is sent an invitation to Qvinci and prompted to set a password and log into her account. And I'll just save her into her account. She appears on the screen. She is now a user at her entity level inside Qvinci. I'm the admin. I have the ability to manage her permissions and what she can see in here. I can build reports and deploy them for her as well. But we'll start out with just adding Michelle as a user. Now, if I still need to sync her accounting file, from the File tab under Manage and Entities, I would have the ability, or from the Source tab, I would have the ability to bring in her QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop file, or Excel file. If she operates under accrual basis, 0 is also an option for syncing. So I can connect to QuickBooks by clicking this option for QBO. I can also sync at the class or location level if she only operates under a single class or location. And I can download the sync app to my server or my desktop for QuickBooks Desktop. View our other video tutorials and help desk articles to go through the actual syncing process. We're not going to do that on this particular webinar here, but we're going to move on and bring in an enterprise level client as well. I have another client that I need to set up who has 2 entities, 2 stores. And so what I have the ability to do from this left navigation bar, being the admin, I can open up my account tab and I can go to the billing tab. I'm going to bring in a new client, which is a billable option. And so from the top right-hand corner, I'm going to add a client. And this time, I'm going to bring in an enterprise level client because I do need consolidation. He has more than one file. We'll select that plan. And I'm taken back through the exact, but with some additional options that I need to pay attention to because of a multi-unit environment. So let's set up the Jones Group. This is my construction client. They operate under an accrual basis. They would like to have the peer benchmarking report turned on. This is not industry benchmarking, but rather peer benchmarking. So they can compare their individual stores to the average of their ecosystem. I need to turn on balance sheet reports, and I don't happen to need the profit and loss weekly delineated report, so I'm going to leave that off, and we'll click Next. On the following screen, I am met with a standard chart of accounts page. Because of the multi-entity environment, I have the option to set up an alternate chart of accounts inside Qvinci. Qvinci actually holds the patent for standard chart of accounts technology, whereby files out in the field that might run different charts of accounts can be mapped into a standard that I set up inside Qvinci. It does not push the changes back to the accounting files, but it just allows you to manage a single set of charts of accounts inside Qvinci for this client. If you don't yet have a standard chart of accounts set up for this particular client, choose one of the templates that we have set up in the system. Otherwise, if you would like to set up your custom chart of accounts, choose Custom, and you'll have the ability to have Qvinci support import your chart of accounts for you. Let's go with General Contractor as a placeholder today. We'll click Next. On the following screen, I have the ability to now set up my entities. This client only has 2 entities, so I'm going to do both entities on this screen. If I have a larger client with 10, 20, 100 entities, there is a bulk import feature inside the Qvinci account that allows me to basically download a spreadsheet and then import those entities via Excel. I need to put at least one entity on this screen in order to get to the next one. So let's go ahead and enter both entities today. Again, I am the user who is syncing this accounting file. If I need to assign it to a different bookkeeper or accountant or even the client, I can deselect this and insert their information here. Let's add my second entity. This client has an Austin and a Dallas location, and we'll click Finish. Just like on the prior client, my Michelle's Flowers, I have the option to choose from a monthly or an annual subscription. We're going to go with an annual option today for this particular client. I already have my credit card on file for this client. Again, this second client is being set up during my 14-day free trial. This client is also not billed until my 14 days expire. And we'll start the trial for this second client. For this particular client, now that I have more than one set up in the ecosystem, I default to landing on the portal page. This is my collaboration tool across my CPAs and my other accountants in my firm. I have my left navigation bar. If I need to immediately go sync the files for this client, I will just open up Manage, and I'll migrate to Entities. And just like we saw on the previous client, I have the ability to sync my Austin store by clicking on Austin and then choosing the file type that I need to sync, or I can migrate to Dallas and I can add the file for my Dallas location as well. I can add users to the individual entities just to Austin or just to Dallas by clicking on either entity and then the permissions page, just like we saw on the prior user, the prior Michelle's Florist. If I need to go back to Michelle, the Jones Group, I simply expand this tab and I can migrate to Michelle's Flowers. And now I am back inside Michelle's environment for managing her location. I can also add users to my ecosystem. I have the ability to add client-level users or account-level users. If I have a bookkeeper in my firm who only services Michelle's Flowers and does not need any access whatsoever to the Jones Group, that would be a client-level user, only at the client level, Michelle's Flowers. I'm going to open this up and go to Client Permissions. And I have multiple user types. I can set up a viewer, a user who only has report viewing access. I can set up a staff member, somebody inside my firm who needs semi-administrative access to this particular client, Michelle's Flowers. Or I can set up a manager as well, somebody who needs more management, more administrative access to be able to create more entities under Michelle's Flowers, to add other users, etc. And just like we did on a prior screen, we're going to add a new user from this option here. And because they do not exist in my ecosystem already, I would click Invite New User, first name, last name, email, brings that new user into the ecosystem, and they are automatically sent an invitation to log into their Qvinci account. I also have the ability to bring in account-level users at my level, at the administrative level. The highest level next to me as the admin is a leader. This is somebody who has billable access inside the application should I provision that for them. They can create brand new clients. Just like Michelle's Flowers, maybe I need to bring in Tom's Construction. I can do that through these leaders. I can give them that access. I also have an account level staff, somebody who can view the portal, view the collaboration environment, and help administrate these other clients in the ecosystem, but they do not have billable rights. They cannot create new clients or anything of that nature. The Qvinci knowledge base will allow me to find more information as well as a very helpful users grid on who sees what, who can do what, and what kinds of users I need to set up that fit my particular environment. Go ahead and visit the syncing webinars and the syncing knowledge base articles that we have inside our help topics to learn more about those. And we're going to offer a navigation webinar following up shortly. So be sure to go view our navigation webinar to learn how to navigate your portal, your dashboard, reports, and so on and so forth for you as well as your clients.